I just lost my partner of almost 5 years over an argument. How can I get over this pain? Last Saturday I had probably the worst day of my life. Let's rewind about 4 weeks back to where all of this started. Me M25 and my partner F24 had a really good relationship going on. We've experienced a lot of life-changing moments together, spent a lot of time together, went through small arguments and were generally really happy with each other. We also moved in together just a few months ago and were able to take care of our very own home for the first time, which worked surprisingly well, except for keeping things always 100% clean. One thing that I kept noticing over the past few months was that she started finding some new friends online, which isn't really something to worry about, especially since both me and her really love to play video games. But she started spending more and more time with the people she just met on there and wasn't really there for anyone else anymore. She had broken her foot because of a laser tag incident, so she had to stay at home for quite a long while, so that I wasn't able to take her out for some outdoor activity, which we really enjoyed doing as well. All in all, I just let her be alone from time to time because I didn't feel like bothering her too much since she was in quite some pain. She also had to go to regular checkups with her doctor, which is basically what got this whole thing rolling. One day when she had to go, she told me that it wouldn't take too long, like less than an hour. I couldn't bring her or pick her up since I had to go to work that day, but she was fine with taking the bus. Quite some time had passed and it was already almost 2 hours later, but I didn't think of it too much yet. Sometimes the waiting time can be a real pain, and it probably just took longer than expected. At around the 3-hour mark I did get pretty worried though, at which point I decided to send her a message asking if everything is okay. She replied about 30 minutes later telling me that everything is fine and that she got picked up by her new online friends and were talking for a bit. Now I was at a point where I was a bit frustrated, I guess? She'd usually tell me if something spontaneous was happening, especially if it would take this long. But then a few more hours passed while I was just waiting for her to come back or for her to tell me when she'd be back. But nothing. Until she arrived back home at around 9 to 10 p.m. So she was gone for around 7 hours. She came into the living room where I was sitting and all she said was, "Hi." Through my frustration and bold, "Sup?" as my answer, I let her know that I wasn't in the best mood. When she took off her jacket and dropped her bag, the first and only thing that night was to go to her room, get online and get back to her new friends. After a few minutes had passed, I confronted her with my feelings. That I felt weirded out by the fact that she just joined some people in a car that she only just met, and that I felt sad that she wouldn't tell me about it. That if I wouldn't have asked her what's up, that she might not have told me anything at all. I also made clear that I was 100% positive that she wasn't cheating on me because I didn't want her to feel like that's my point. She didn't really know what to answer the entire time. I was talking to my mom about this before I went to her, and she tried to talk to her as well, which I tried to intervene though, since I know that my mom wouldn't take this whole thing in a calm manner. After me trying to tell her that I was super worried, disappointed, or rather frustrated that she wouldn't tell me that she'd be gone for so long and her not really being able to respond to me, I left her alone for a while since that's the one thing she asked for. She also told me that she'd like to talk about this the day after and maybe even get her mom involved so she had some emotional stability. After sleeping rather nervously through the night, I went to work as usual. She was still asleep when I woke up, so I let her be. And when I came back, she and her mom were waiting for me in the living room. We talked about a lot of things. Good things, bad things. Her mom was surprised that we'd be having an argument about something this small and stupid, but was actually agreeing with my point. The whole discussion really ended on a good note though, and it felt like we managed to get a lot off of our chests. But then she decided that she wanted to go to her parents for a few days for a bit of distance. And I was totally fine with that. We told each other "I love you" with a kiss and I let her go. 3 weeks had passed with barely any communication when suddenly she asked me if I was home on Saturday. I told her that I was at work till 3 p.m. And when I came home I saw her together with her stepbrother and her mom waiting for me at my door. And it was at that moment where I already knew where this was going. She asked if we wanted to go inside, and once inside all she said was, "I don't think I have to mention much. All I'm here for is to pick up my stuff and then we should part ways." And I was devastated. I didn't expect this at all. But I let them do their thing. I wanted to help them at first, but then I started feeling this mental breakdown. And I started crying while I was trying to hide on my balcony. At some point they were looking for a backpack of hers and asked me if I knew where it was, but we couldn't find it. It turned out to be in one of the bigger bags they packed together while gathering all her stuff. That little search at least gave her and me the chance to talk one more time. She said that we'd be better off staying friends. That this might not be a farewell but a "see you later." So we didn't end on bad blood. Now I'm just sitting here hoping that one day when I come back from work that she's gonna wait at my door, wanting to come back together. It's all a fresh wound, I know, but I could just really use some advice on how to handle these feelings and emotions because I just can't sleep anymore. I can't focus on work and I can't look at any of my rooms the same anymore. I hope I worded everything right and didn't skip too many details. I'm just really tired and pretty much done at the moment.